Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of AksDproS Business, where we bring entrepreneurs, business owners onto the show, to share their journey and their story. On this particular episode, I've got Matt. Yeah, Matt is all the way from the States, guys, and he's well into marketing, Facebook, Instagram. He's going to tell us how he's built this business, and he's also a coach as well, and Matt is just going to tell us his life journey story. Hopefully we'll learn it from his story. Matt, on this show, we always start from the beginning, which means, telling us how the journey started for you. For you, how did it all begin?
Yeah, so I'm actually a physical therapist by trade. And as I started getting into physical therapy, I realized that I did not want that 9 to 5 gig, that 9 to 5 job. And right as I graduated, I had an opportunity to join a team that was helping people online from a fitness standpoint, delivering health and wellness programs to first responders, so primarily law enforcement officers. And right as I graduated, I just got really attracted to it. I was like, man, you're telling me I can work from anywhere on my own time and make as much money as I want to? It's like, this is very different than like 9 to 5 and salary. So I was really open to this idea of entrepreneurship. And yeah, I've really taken off with it here in the past 2 years. And I've had a lot of fun. I've been able to travel these past 6 months. I spent out in the States. I'm in the States. And I would every single month I go to a different state. And I was with a bunch of other online healthcare or health-based entrepreneurs. And we just got to travel the states together and run online businesses together. And it was a lot of fun. And I'm actually about to pick up again here in the next month or so and start traveling again.
Yeah, awesome, man. I know it's good when you have like from what you just said now, it's just all about freedom, being having that freedom to do whatever you want to do, and just call the shots yourself, But for some people that are like, they're still on 9 to 5 and thinking of, oh, how do I, make this switch from a 9 to 5, to being, be my own boss to say, being an entrepreneur, for you, what were the difficult things you faced, trying to make that switch because you had a 9 to 5 at one point, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
what was that thing that was difficult for you thinking about, switching, was it difficult or was it a smooth switch for you?
The thing is when I was in clinic from 9 to 5, like before I graduated from PT school, I did not enjoy it. It was like it wasn't an option because I was not happy. I was like, I'm going to follow my heart, and I don't want to do this because just by doing this, I'm getting upset. And there are nights where I'm frustrated and mad. And I'm like, why would I take a job that makes me miserable and mad? I'm not going to do that. So, um, right after I graduated, I did not take an on a 5. I went straight into that entrepreneurial route. Just because I had that experience for the past 9 months, I had to be in clinic from 9 to 5, and I was like, "There's no way. This is not healthy for me, and I'm not able to provide the best service to anybody else because this doesn't fit me." And for some people, that 9 to 5 works perfectly, and that's great. But there's other people out there like yeah, for me, like that doesn't work well. Like I'm not going to be a good clinician and give the best care. So for me, I knew that wasn't an option, and I was very fortunate to have support. I know I graduated and I could go if I needed to. I could crash at my mom's. Not now, probably not so much. But when I first graduated, there was that opportunity of like, hey, do your thing, and we're here to support you. If you need a place to stay, cool. But there's a certain time to me, and like I don't want you to be here forever, but if you need us, we're here. So having that support system and a place to be like, and someone to believe in you, was really really important for me as I was getting into this space.
Yeah, nice, man. Like I know getting into doing your own thing, and having your own hustle as well. If you don't have that support system initially, that'll be kind of like difficult, because if you're thinking of transiting from 9 to 5 to like being your own boss, and you have a family, and you have bills, you have rent, you have all that to pay, it's kind of like difficult. But for you, I know, your mom was there, you had the support, you had all that going on, but For people that would, because I get to ask this question, like people ask me as well, like, I'm on 9 to 5, and I want to switch, what is the best time for me? What is the best way? For me, it's always, about the best timing for them in terms of their personal circumstances as well. But you haven't been in your industry, and your coach as well. Have you come across people that they have the 9 to 5 and they're still hustling as well? What would you say to those set of group that, okay, this is what you do, before you switch, and you have to take care of your business first?
Yes, totally. For most people, it's setting that goal and getting clear on what do I actually need. It's not what do I want. It's like for a lot of people, they're scared and they want to replace their salary before they switch, and that's not necessarily the way to go about it. It is like, okay, what is that minimal effective like dose? Or what is that minimal amount that I actually need? What do I need to survive? And can I set a goal to make that before I make that jump? For those who are like, oh, I need to make the full thing and all the benefits, everything like that's going to freeze them from actually taking action. So if you want to do the side hustle route, that's a totally good route, but you need to get really clear on what you need and a plan to actually get there. And a lot of that comes from having like a coach or somebody, a support system, whether it's at home, you want someone who's like, yeah, do this. This is awesome for you. And then also like having a mentor or somebody that's done those steps before you. And for me, I've had in the past 2 or 3 years, I've had a lot of different mentors, and there's no way I would have been able to just go out on my own in this like uncharted territory without having the support of friends, family, and as well as like other coaches who are familiar with how to do these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know having a mentor is great as well. Learning from someone that's done it before, we're able to hold your hands and, hold you through the ropes and say, don't do it that way, do it this way. This is the way I've done it and it's worked for me this way. But for you, starting up, and I know you're well into digital marketing, and for you, starting at first, what were those key things you would say to someone that want to start now, that you probably faced in the initial stages?
Yeah, the first thing is just start taking action. I think it's really common, and I was guilty of this too when I started, was to overanalyze everything. I was like, I gotta get this perfect. And what I've learned instead is to get ready, fire, aim. Ready, fire, aim. Instead of ready, aim, fire, it's like most of us are stuck because we're not taking that action. And just by taking action, you're going to learn, and it's going to allow you to go a lot faster. So like that's like implementing. Speed of implementation is another word for it. It's like once you learn something, how fast can you implement it? So let's say you're listening to this podcast. Awesome. What is one thing that I took away from this podcast? How can I apply that to my life this week and do it? So action by far is the most important that I'd say for most people, is not to necessarily wait. It's like, how can I take messy action and learn from it?
Yeah, absolutely. And starting out yourself, trying to, were you involved in every part of your business in terms of, creating the ads, marketing, working on Facebook as well, social media and all that, where do you know all that, or you have people doing certain things for you?
Yeah, when I had started, no, it was just me. I mean, when I started running Facebook ads, so I built an online fitness business, and we had a good source of traffic already organically, and the way we helped scale that was to get into the paid media and or Facebook ads. And when I started that, yeah, I did not know what I was getting myself into, and what our business has set aside is, hey, 10% of our revenue we are going to put to marketing, and just had that set from the start, from when we were not profitable, brand new. We're like 10% is our goal. Okay, cool. So as a company grew, so did that money. But mentally, we already put it aside. Said, this is our marketing money. This is going to help us grow the company. So right off the top, that money was going there, and that continued to grow. And we didn't expect, when we got into the paid media space, for that money to make it to be profitable right off the bat. We're like, this is also this 10% is really an opportunity to play until we have a system that we actually learn from. So just know, I mean, there are some people, you can hire coaches, you can put some money aside and you may get results really fast. But for most things in life, it doesn't come immediately. Even if you do pay an agency to run ads for your company, they're not going to get it right off the bat. They may have a good structure and framework, but it's not going to land immediately. So just setting it aside, this is going to that. This is money that we're going to spend, and it's okay if we don't get an immediate return on investment right off the bat.
Yeah. I think a lot of business owners want to have that quick ROI. You know, they want to have the quick, you know, return on investment. You know, but you know, if you like working with companies, yeah, like if you made a prospective client that you want to work with, you know, what are the things you look for, you know, in terms of asking the right questions, you know, strategizing as well, you know, to give the customer the best return of investment. I know sometimes Facebook ads or Instagram ads, you know, it's not a guaranteed thing, you know, that it's gonna work. It's kind of like a testing. You know? But for you, when you want to work with these clients, you know, what are the things you kind of like set aside and say, you know, these are the strategies I want to use for this guy, and this is where I want to do things. You know, your first initial assessment. You know, how do you go about that?
Yeah, if we're talking about like a company that was trying to run ads, they need to have a good offer first. It's like people have to have good offers. Like if it's just a normal offer, it's a typical commodity, it's not going to do that well. It's like, can you create a very enticing offer that's actually going to get the customer to want to buy it? But if your offer sucks, doesn't matter how much money or people you send to your offer. It's like, all right, it's like putting, you know, a hamburger in front of somebody that's a vegetarian. They're like, I don't want that. So that's great. You can put it in front of me all day long. I'm not going to take it. So having a good offer, which I'm currently reading a book, $100 million Offer by AksDproS, and strongly recommend it. It's like, I think it's like 99 cents for Kindle version, but for anybody who's listening, it's a great book, and it's making me rethink every offer that I've ever had for anybody. And if you can make an offer that somebody feels stupid to say no to, it's going to be a lot easier. So like step one is, do you have a good offer? Cool. Awesome. Step two would be, do you have a high converting website or landing page or sales page? Because I can't run ads to something that doesn't work, right? So it's like the end result is the product or service. Is that awesome? Cool. Is it packaged well to sell it? Cool. Now, on the sales page or your website, is it set up to be high converting, to where if a certain percentage of the people get to the website, what percentage of those people actually click to add to cart or initiate checkout? And like for some companies I'm with, it's 10 to 20%, which is great. So if I get 100 people to a website, I can get 10 to 20 to go to the checkout page. And then they may or may not convert based off how good the offer is, right? So good offer, good sales page, and knowing who your ideal client is. Like, who do I actually want to make an ad for? Because that's what you have to know as you're making the ads, of who do I want to send this to? Because that's the beauty of ads, is you can pick who it goes to, but you need to know who your ideal customer is before you just start giving Facebook money, because it'll take your money. It'll totally take your money.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, initially starting out, you know, would you recommend, you know, some, like, you know, when you go to all them freelance sites like Fiverr or Upwork, you know, and all that, you know, would you recommend someone to actually start from there before you starting your own company? You know, being a freelancer, to say.
Parts of it, yes. So like I use Upwork and Fiverr for the actual like graphics, or to make a high converting or a pretty website. So there's parts of those services that you can use. As far as like having someone run ads for you, I don't know if I would trust somebody on Fiverr or Upwork to run the ads, but to make the individual components, I'm open to that. So like the website page, or if you're giving away a free download, which is where most of the people that I help run ads for is to build an email list to nurture and sell to. So if I create, okay, cool. I'm going to do a handstand guide. Okay. So this is the top 5 exercises for handstands. I can write them out in a Word document and give that to an Upwork person, give them photos, and they can make it look really pretty. Right. So I do use Upwork and Fiverr to make, that's called a lead magnet. So essentially like, the free downloads. So I use Upwork and Fiverr for website pages as well as like free downloads. But as far as running the ads themselves, I like to handle that just because, and I would recommend, I mean, it really depends on what your goal is, but I think it's good to know as the owner or as the operator of how they work. And at a certain point, you can hand them off once you know how they work and what is working for you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're right, because it's a very gray area for me. I know, doing ads and trying to get that perfection, is very great, because like we said earlier, results are not guaranteed ones. It's kind of like a testing thing. You test, you see what works. You test again. And you see, until you get the perfect strategy that works for you and your client. You know which is great. But for you, when it comes to business, like starting out, branding and being in business as well, what would you say to someone that wants to start a business? Like, you want to restart business, you want to, you want to put yourself out there, and is there anything like personal branding or business branding to say?
Yeah, man. The first thing that comes up for me is getting in contact with the ideal people you want to serve. So this is what I do with a lot of people that I work with is, let's say that you want to work with busy moms. Okay. So before you create branding, before you create anything, you've got to create a really solid message of who do you want to work with and what can you provide for them. So let's say you like busy moms. I would recommend that you get on the phone with 20 people who are busy moms, and I'd ask them a series of questions to get to know like what they really want, what are their struggles, why they can't do it alone, and what have they tried in the past that hasn't worked. There's a series of questions you can ask them. And then based off of those 20 responses, you find the commonalities, and then you create a message with that. So you're using their words and language and making that your own marketing message and your own brand. One of the biggest issues that I have seen with coaches or anybody in a business space is that we want to create something that we want other people to want. It's like, oh, you know what? They need this, so I'm going to create it.
Yeah.
Instead of like, cool, I want to work with busy moms. What are you guys struggling with? Okay, cool. Can I create something with the skills and tools that I have to solve that problem? Because all business is solving problems, and it's no good to create problems that aren't real.
Yeah. I think invariably it's not really about you. It's about the customers, people you want to serve. I believe, if you, like you said, if you put that as one of your first strategy or your first goals, you're probably on the right path, because there's only creating a product that you like. It's not you really. You know, it's the customer. It's your end goal, the end product. It's great. Matt, what motivates you? What makes you to do more? What excites you to say? I know you've got a dog, and your dog are friendly as well. You play a lot, but apart from that, what are the other things that sets you off, that motivates you?
Oh man. Definitely my dog. So coming home to my dog every day is great.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I'm definitely very like impact driven. Like I want to make a big impact and I want to help people. So like, I know if I help a bunch of people, that money it will come in at some point in the future. And but putting others first is definitely in that aspect is big. And then also I say putting others first, and also really putting yourself first. So like doing things that I have fun doing. So like scheduling time for myself to go play, whether that's travel, whether that's go in the water, whether that's these things. It's like that's really important for me to stay motivated to be able to show up every day, is to make sure that, okay, cool, did I work out today? Did I spend some time, whether it's like meditation or doing some breath work? Was I able to treat myself today so that I can show up for the clients that I work with?
Absolutely, man. I like that, man. Nice, good. What sets you apart, Matt? A lot of there are a lot of guys that that are out there that do what you do, coaching and digital marketing, to say, they love guys out there doing the same thing, But for you, what is that thing that sets you apart? What would you say to a prospective client that would make say, this is what I do differently, this is my approach, this is why you should work with me, what are those key things that set you apart?
Ooh, good question, man. um, you know, I'm pretty selective on who I actually take on as clients, because I like I said earlier, it's like I want them to have a really good offer. I want them to have a lot of these things in place, and I want to believe in their product or service. Like, I'm not in it to make a quick buck off of somebody. Like, if I don't think I can help them, I'm not going to work with them. And if I do think I can help them, I'm going to give them a lot of energy and attention. And what I've been doing recently is, instead of someone paying me a service fee, is like, okay, yeah, it costs this amount to work with me per month, is that I will actually join them. And I'm like, I will join and work with you in exchange for either like profit sharing. So like, if what the company does well, we both win, we both get to pay ourselves. If it doesn't, then I don't want to get paid, because we didn't do anything that was good, right? Let's wait. And so that profit sharing or equity sharing model is something that's really enticing to me, because I get to grow with the company, and yeah, it's more motivating and enticing to see that growth, instead of, oh, it doesn't matter how we do, I'm still going to get paid, you know?
Yeah, so for you, it's a win-win situation, right?
Yeah, and there's definitely, and it's never always pretty. There are certain quarters that happen that we maybe didn't make any profit. I'm like, okay, cool. What can we do together? So like, that teamwork is yeah, is super important to me.
Yeah, and of course, I guess in your field of work, coaching and doing all that as well. I guess building that relationship is good as well. Being relatable is another good thing as well. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, because for me, I think if you don't have that relationship, and you guys can work together, and communicate properly as well, I probably don't think that there will be anything that you guys want to do together, but for you, in the course of your career, from when you started, till now, what is that thing, one thing that you want to change, if you're given the chance?
One thing that I could change about the past.
Yeah, by the past, yeah. Like, something that you probably would have said, what, looking at what I've done in the past, I wish I've done it differently.
Yeah, I would say listening to my heart of like what I want to do. There's been just some relationships in the past, whether it's business or personal, say both, that I stayed in too long, and that wasn't serving me or the other person who's in the relationship, whether it was business or not. So it's just like staying in things too long, even though I knew it wasn't a good fit. It was like, oh yeah, but maybe if it's business, oh man, we're making a lot of money, we should just stay together. But it's like, yeah, but if I'm not happy, and I don't believe in that product, I don't want to do that. So I'd say for me, it's just continual. It's always progressing, always learning, is following my heart, listening my intuition, or that gut sensation of, okay, do I want to continue? Do I want to pull out? What does that look like? And on that first inclination, whatever it may be, is just is follow that voice.
Absolutely, man. But for you, where are you taking this? What is your next move in terms of, you want to grow the business, you want to have like partners, you want to, expand, what is the next big thing for you?
Yeah. So right now, I recently just joined three new teams, and that's taking up most of my bandwidth. So I'm not necessarily taking on new clients right now. So with these three teams, yeah, it's just helping them grow. So most of them have been since, I think the earliest one's been since June. So they're all relatively new ventures that I've started, the last one being last month. So giving these things 6 months and just going all in with these and keeping my attention focused on them instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna keep taking on more clients. But yeah, so just be patient, because a lot of times I like to see that like fast ROI. We all do. We're like, I want to see it grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So giving these ventures that I started a good 6 months before before making any changes, or not say changes, we'll always be tweaking stuff inside the business, seeing how those three companies grow, and and going from there. If they're crushing it, cool, stay there. If they're not serving me, then I can pivot, whether that's leaving, or whether that is just giving it less or of my attention, cool, and take on more clients. But yeah, a big thing for me right now is just being patient and present and focused on the projects that I've got ahead and getting them all streamlined. Like right now, I'm on those three businesses. I'm doing a lot, and the sooner, like I already have a list on my whiteboard over here of things that I can have like a virtual assistant take over. So like, what are those tedious tasks that I'm doing that aren't really like skilled tasks? So once I can get these like businesses operating and going like clockwork, then it's like, okay, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to leave? Do I want to take on more ventures? Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Spot on. What you said about patience. Patience is key. You have to, you have to be able to just put in things, but you have to wait as well, because wait, because life as it is now, it's all result driven. We all want results. But you also have to have that mindset of, it's like going fishing. When you casting the rope or whatever, fishing, you have to wait. You put in the bait, you just have to wait, because if you cast in and just bring it out straight up, you're not going to catch anything, are you?
No, no, good things take time.
Yeah, they do, absolutely, man. Yeah, nice interview so far. But if we had to leave someone with something, on this podcast, on this show, what would that thing be?
Mm. Mm. We dropped a few nuggets in here, some few gold nuggets,
Yeah.
I'd say the biggest thing I'd say is just to start taking action. So if you don't know what action to take, think about where you want to be. What do I want to be 5 years from now? What do I want to be, if that's too far? What do I want to be from a year from now? Okay, cool. And then work backwards from there. If that's where I want to be a year from now, what do I need to do in 6 months to get to a year? Okay, what do I need to do in 3 months to get to that 6 month mark? Okay, cool. What do I need to do in 1 month to get to that 3 month spot? Okay, what do I need to do this week to get to that 1 month goal? Okay, what do I need to do today to get to that 1 week goal? Okay, what can I do right now to get to today's goal? And working backwards from there gives people a lot of clarity. Because if you're just doing stuff because you think you should do stuff, but it doesn't have a clear path or focus or direction, you're just going to be spinning your wheels, being frustrated.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you're totally right. Like, you need to set clear goals. Where, like you said, set the goals where you want to be. And try to keep up with those goals as well, because there are times where you probably set goals, and you probably procrastinate. like for me, for instance, I would say starting this podcast out, I sort of like say, okay, I'm going to start this next month. But I got to next month. I was like, oh my God, I'm really behind now, I'm probably going to start the following month, So I kept on pushing it because I was thinking to myself, how am I going to interview people? How am I going to speak? How am I going to talk? How am I going to get guests as well? A whole lot of stuff going through my head, but for you, you're right, you're right on this, set your clear goals and just try to meet those goals. I think, like you said, action, take action and just start, just, I don't know, just do it. I think, just
Nike did it right. Nike has a very simple, just straight to the point. Dude, just go do it.
yeah. Like I interviewed some lady about 2 weeks ago, and we also spoke about this as well. She was like, just be like Nike and just do it, man.
Just be like Mike, be like Nike.
Be like Nike and just do it, But yeah, I think it's easier said than done, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's way easier said than done because sometimes a lot people probably have certain constraints that you don't know about. And it's good to let people be in their own zone, but sometimes it's not good. It's not so good to just be in your comfort zone as well. Because if you're in your comfort zone, that's when procrastination comes in. You want to procrastinate. You want to say, oh, anyway, there's no need to do that this week. Let me push it to the following week. Before you know it, it's like 2 months down the line, you have not even started.
Right. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not. Yeah. You know what? It's never going to be perfect. It's just not.
Yeah. It's true. You're right, man. You're right, because when you're starting out, you want your editing to be right. You want your videos to be perfect as well. You want your audio to be perfect. You want your graphics, everything to be perfect. But now you ask yourself the question: is there anything like perfection? To be honest, there's nothing there. I think for me, my approach on this is, try and put stuff out there. Even if it helps one person, it's all good. It's all good. Your image doesn't have to be perfect. Your word. Anyway, with time you work on your words and your image and your graphics. But starting out, I think you just do it like Nike, man. Just do it.
Just do it, and your people will tell you what they want to. And that's the thing, is like, we're going to hold ourselves to this standard of whatever it is, but people are going to see it differently. And the more you can connect with your audience or your people that you're serving, your clients, you'll know what to create, and you'll know, if you're listening. And I think that's a big part of, for all entrepreneurs, is listen more to your clients, listen more to your audience, listen more to your significant others, your spouse, like all those people. They have good things and lessons to tell you. You just have to be ready to hear from them.
Yeah, great, Matt, man. It's been a nice chat, man. But if you guys want to get in touch with you, where's the best place, to get in touch with you? Your socials,
Yeah, social media, the best place would be Instagram. That's where I'm most active right now. Instagram is Shive, SHIVE _on, Shive on.
Yeah. What about LinkedIn?
Nope. I have a LinkedIn, but I'm not on it. Not on it.
Some people say LinkedIn is like a gold mine for some people, because I think I interviewed some guy about beginning of this year, and he gets he's into B2B marketing, and he gets his leads from LinkedIn, and he was like, oh, LinkedIn is big, you have to be on LinkedIn. But like you said, anyway, people feel different about all socials, and it depends on what you can handle as well.
Yeah, and also I think for me, it's like, just pick the one you feel the most comfortable with, get a routine there, then go to the next one. And LinkedIn's just not one I've got on yet. I know there's a lot of gold in there, an opportunity. It's just, I'm digging for gold somewhere else right now.
Nice, man. It's been nice having this chat with you, man. And always having guys like you on the show is good, because you tend to just give your journey, your story. You share around with my listeners, your listeners. People tend to like take a thing or two from it. Like for me now, I've learned, a bit from this, and we're also building that relationship as well. I know that at some point, I might need like a digital marketer or someone that will walk me through, how do you do ads, how do you create ads? I want to do this, I want to do that, and I definitely have you now, and I'm also grateful for that as well. Thanks for being on the show, Matt, and I'm grateful as well.
Yes, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, anybody else who wants a few pointers or tips on ads, whatever, shoot me a DM. I'm more than willing to give you guys some of my free time and just take it to the loops.
Absolutely, man. Nice one, man. Good.